Republicans vying for their party's nomination to challenge J.B. Pritzker for Illinois governor have exactly 7 months to make their case. That's how far away we are from the Illinois primary. Here are the candidates in the race right now. Former State Senator Paul Schimpf, current State Senator Darren Bailey, Cheryl Erickson, Christopher Roper, as well as entrepreneurs Jesse Sullivan and Gary Rabine. All of the candidates filed their quarterly campaign finance disclosure reports for the third quarter with the State Board of Elections. I checked the numbers and found 4 have money to compete, 2 stand way out from the rest. This is their campaign cash on hand as of September 30th. Schimpf with almost $74,000. Bailey at a little more than $1 million. Erickson reports no money in her account. Roper just shy of $600. Jesse Sullivan's war chest is a whopping $10 million roughly. Gary Rabine has $416,000. We will learn more about Darren Bailey this morning. He was born and raised in Louisville, Illinois, earned his Associate of Science degree in agricultural production from Lakeland College, and he spent his career as a farmer, corn, soybeans, and wheat primarily. Darren Bailey, not a political newcomer, but he's not exactly a veteran either. Bailey got started by serving on the North Clay Board of Education, did that for several years actually, but he served 2 years in the Illinois House of Representatives from 2019 to January of this year, and that's when he became a state senator, a job he's had for a little more than 10 months. Now, a field of 6 Republicans makes for a very competitive primary. Darren Bailey certainly isn't shying away from it, and Illinois State Senator Darren Bailey joins us for a conversation this morning. Thanks for being here, by the way.
It's an honor to be here with you, so thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Now, second in the campaign financing race certainly puts you in a very competitive position. You're the only Republican in the field who currently holds elected office, but that's still less than 3 years in the state legislature anyway. Republicans often like to campaign on saying things like government can't be trusted, arguing for smaller government. Now, maybe you make that claim as well, but how do you win voters in the primary when you're the only Republican candidate in government? You're an insider, believe it or not an outsider like everybody else claims to be. So how do you win the primary?
Well, I think exactly what's going on right now. When people look at our webpage, BaileyForIllinois.com, when they look at our Facebook page, they see a grassroots movement that's really never existed in Illinois politics before. 10,000 plus individual donors from $5 to $200,000 at our events, just an army ready to take back Illinois, people who have been forgotten and left out. And that's really been my message. And just 3 short years ago, whenever Cindy and I decided to step up for this journey, it was because we as normal Illinoisans are fed up, we're tired, and we're concerned about the future for our children.
And he worried about being labeled as the insider when everyone else can claim they're an outsider.
Well, and again, my journey would argue that, because I've stood up against the establishment, whether that's been the Democrat establishment, whether that's been my own establishment. Whenever Republicans come together and some of them chose to vote for a 20-cent increase in gas taxes, I was on the front line standing up against that. So a moral integrity and a more fiscal responsible government's what we stand up for, and I've been standing up for the people since day one.
And you've been an outspoken supporter of Donald Trump. How much do you see this primary as a fight for the Republican Party's identity in Illinois, and what do you want that identity to be?
Absolutely. Bold and courageous leadership. Illinois is hungry for it. I think that alone is what separates me from the rest. The simple fact that I've stuck my neck out just because of this simple little thing of this feeling of freedom and doing the right thing, I've actually acted on it. When many people will shy away because they're concerned about the consequences, I've had absolutely no problem standing up for the people and saying enough's enough, and then giving them a reason why and educating them as to why. That's what's created this movement.
Do you feel the rift in the Republican Party? Because there are the people who support Donald Trump, and there's a part of the wing that doesn't, and that's creating a divide.
There has been a rift. There is no doubt about that. However, I will tell you that coming up on the election of 2022, I think that many of the people who have been on the rift against President Trump and these policies and what the Republican platform stands for are starting to realize that people in Illinois, I'm going to say on both sides of the party, because you will see in my, even in my campaign finances, you will see hard Democrats are joining the cause. So people are tired of what's going on. Our futures, it's slipping away from us. People are joining the movement because of the boldness, because of the courage, because of the freedom. And I think that's what's going to win the day in 2022.
Well, let's say everything does fall your way. You win the primary next June, and you win the general election in November, making you the next governor of Illinois. Let's be real about one thing. Democrats are not likely to lose their strongholds in the legislature. I know every Republican I talk to says, oh, it's going to be a wave election. I'm going to bring you back to planet Earth here. How would you be able to get anything done with Democrats?
Absolutely. Communication. You know, when we've looked at the past, we've lived under and witnessed a governor who did a really good job of communicating. COVID, COVID, COVID. You're going to die if you go outside. You're going to get sick. We're going to lose everything. He did a wonderful job of instilling fear in our communities, our schools, our churches, our businesses. And look where we're at a year and a half later. Our economy has been decimated. We've racked up more federal debt now to rescue, under false pretenses, the budget for Illinois. People are tired of that. So we communicate to the people, and that's exactly, again, that's why I'm here. I've been communicating on Facebook. I've been communicating to the people. That's what a governor does. That's what government does. Educate and inform and let the people decide.
I know you disagree with his policies, but one thing, he has gotten things passed through the legislature. I mean, he's a Democrat with a Democratic stronghold. Governor Rauner did not have that same success. So how, as a Republican, though, do you specifically get Democrats to go along with your policy?
Right. Well, and I have that record of having the respect of many of the Democrat legislators. I might tear their policies apart. Right now, the Republican Party is in the super minority, and we got there for a reason, not standing up and being bold and courageous with our message. So, all we have to do is take back 4 seats in the House, and the Democrats lose their supermajority. A governor can then veto policies, and it can't be overridden. Again, it's all about people. Illinois State Board of Education and all these agencies, filling them. The governor appoints people, and that's what's been driving the direction of Illinois. It is the people. And when Governor Pritzker puts people in place that are going to be beholden to him, we kind of get stifled. So educating the people, let them know what the possibilities are, and then engaging them, that's taking place. We're seeing an engagement in our electoral process that's never existed before in Illinois. I'm asking that people encourage or hold their elected officials, from the precinct committee person all the way up. And if people engage and get to know their elected officials, it's going to change the day in Illinois.
We have more ground to cover with State Senator Darren Bailey coming up. Pandemic position, how the candidate defends his outspoken stance on this very divisive issue in Illinois. For the Record.